this is what made me feel like somebody done pissed in my grits. I had a person, a client, as I'm providing this service, which I am a massage therapist, y'all. The client informed me that, hey, they don't really take showers before they come in to receive service. They get oily and, all the massage lotion and whatnot. So they prefer to, bathe after and all that good jazz.
Ill.
We face our problems every day. It seems they'll never fade away. The world may bring us down. Tonight we're gonna turn it around. So let's put it all on the table. Talk about it if you're willing and able. Life's having insecurities and a laugh or two. Come and take a seat. So bring your concerns to us. Together we can discuss what's on your mind. No matter what you go through, just know we'll be here for you every time. Let's talk about it. Blind table talk. Let's talk about it. Blind table talk. Gotta be about it. Go ahead and walk the walk. So let's talk about it. Blind table talk. Let's talk about it.
What's going down, y'all? Welcome back to Blind Table Talk. I am your host, Fleeks, also known as Security of the Community, man.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back. I am your host, Sassy Sai, aka your blind butterfly. Thank y'all again for coming to the table this week.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We got another good one for y'all, man. We love to be out here and just happy to be talking with y'all. And, what I'm saying, being blessed to be able to, bring these episodes and all this good jazz
Yes,
to y'all. You know what I'm talking about? But before we
absolutely.
really get into that, though, Sassy, what we got for this episode today, girl?
So, we of course have our BVI Real Talk, but
Yeah.
the interview for this week it was such a pleasure to sit down with Rob and Jamie Lee, and they are the organizers and founders of the support group You Don't Look Blind.
You don't
So
look
that was
blind. Hey,
oh, and you don't, how many times have you been told that? How many times have
man,
I been
so many
told that?
times. Like, what? And,
You,
in back of my mind, I'm just like,
wh- what, what does
what is
blind look
like
like?
look like, that's the study. It's the three what's, and then you really go into the
What?
thought process like what does blind really look like?
Right.
um
Yeah. So that
yeah,
was,
guys,
yeah, that's
so
the
please
question.
stay
I don't
tuned
know.
for this. I know it's going to be enlightening, wonderful
Yes, it
information. Is going
was.
to answer the question on, the what does blind really look like to y'all people, for
Yes.
real, what I'm talking about.
Yes. So, yes, stay tuned for that. So, let's go ahead and get into our BVI Real Talk.
You know it.
Blind table talk, yeah.
Hey,
Ah,
you already know, baby. You already know what time it is. It is time to get into our real talk discussion. What we going to?
yes, yes,
Actually,
yes.
I want to drop something on the table.
Okay, go
I,
ahead.
I I must drop this on the table. And listeners, our support system, all our followers, what I'm talking about. Please, send in your feedback. Let me know if I'm just being some type of way. All of my fellow therapists out there, my massage therapists, y'all weigh in too. You know what I'm talking about? Let me know how y'all feel about this topic. So, uh, here we go. This is
Mm.
what what I like to be saying. Like, this is what made me feel like somebody done pissed in my grits. I had a person, a client, as I'm providing this service, which I am a massage therapist, y'all. Um, the client informed me that, hey, they don't really take showers before they come in to receive service. Like, they feel that, they get oily and, all the massage lotion and whatnot. So they prefer to, bathe after and all that good jazz.
Ill.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is ill. What's even more ill is that they told you that
So you just ill like all the way, right?
Oh, for so many reasons. Like I'm not going to, first of all,
I was
I
about to ask,
mean,
so because you're a client, so like,
yeah,
have you
I
ever like not showered or you
no,
know?
I'm not going to any matter of fact, not only that, when I go, I'm like, I'm making sure I shave because I mean, I want to be smooth, my legs smooth, you know, and it's so hygiene is so important to me when I'm about to be laying on the table naked and sometimes in front of a stranger, right?
Yeah,
Like
even half naked
that's
in underwear, yeah, yeah, but
yeah, well,
still
half naked. I take it all off though.
dig
So,
it.
because I just want, I don't want no interferences, right? So
Yeah,
I like to, but the thing about it is, I mean, and even if people don't take a shower at that, right before, it's still a matter, I mean, courtesy. I mean, it's not necessary that I would stink if I didn't. It's just, I don't know, it's just proper hygiene
you
etiquette. I
know,
don't know. It's
for me,
gross.
I really never even thought about it. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a therapist. I'm sure that I don't few smells, whatever. I'm working. I pass through. It is what it is. But to where I'm tripping at is like the person just kind of let me know. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
that's
Why would you even tell somebody that? That's what
you
I
feel
don't
me? Like that's
like.
what, and I don't know if I'm just tripping, but that's what it's getting to me. I'm just like, damn.
And
All right.
imagine the different, I mean, people are different sizes and I don't know. I
And see,
just
that's
think
not a
it's
problem. Like I done been through like the hairy, like not shaving leg. That's
that's
cool, And once again, I still have pushed through. Everybody has a different body smell or whatnot. It's just what
oof,
it is.
ew,
It's
that's
naturally.
oof.
But the thing that I'm tripping on it, and y'all, I guess I've only been since 2023 or whatnot in this massage field, but it's just like letting me know that you ain't but like come on baby like just
Yeah, I don't know that.
because I'm not about to do anything and not shower. And even if I get like when I go get my treatment I shower before. I know I get
And you
oily. I
do it
go get in the
after, so
sauna
what
and I
it's
know I'm
gonna
sweating, so I'm still gonna take another shower,
well, yeah, it's gonna will it hurt you to take two showers? So because you have to take a shower after, you're not gonna take one before? Like I don't understand their
Yeah, I
logic
don't
on
I
that.
don't get it. I don't get it. I mean it's cool
But
people. It's
it's
just
it's
not trying to
just
be
it's
malicious.
gross.
It just I'm just like, huh,
Well,
interesting.
it's gross.
Yeah, I just want to know
Um,
y'all. Am I tripping? Let me
yeah.
know. Am I being
Well,
too much?
it's gross. So,
Sassy,
I'm
like
just I'm just not gonna
it's
say
gross.
anything.
Like
It's just
we just
gross. But what's funny though is that I just want to touch on a little quick point that everybody's entitled to their opinions, right?
right on.
And I think that that's the freedom of our podcasts and content creators and podcasts and YouTube channels and all that good stuff is that we have a right to our opinions and
Yeah, we get to throw our
you
own
know
2 cents out there.
yeah
Our thought process, how we feel about the things on based on
on what we
information that
feel.
has been provided and what we have out there. You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
then
how that go.
the thing is too, um, and this is side notes, I'm just kind of thinking about some other stuff, but you know, we may not be for everybody, and that's okay too. People have a freedom of who they want to
Some
listen
people like
to,
chocolate milk. Some people like
right?
strawberry milk.
So,
Some people don't like milk at all.
and then
Hey,
we can't please everybody, right?
it's just how that go.
Which, by the way, has taken me, a lot of years to
But
come to terms with that. You can't please everybody, and that's where I'm struggling with a lot of stuff. So,
hey, like we like to
and
say in the H though, man, I got love for everybody, dog. It's all good.
yeah,
You know what
there
I'm talking
you
about?
go.
Hey, that's
Yes.
how we gonna do that. We got love
All
for
right.
everybody, man.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
all right. The next thing that I want to bring to the table. So we talked about your stinky ill people, right? And I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Let me stop. I'm just playing.
Just curious
People,
question, y'all.
people,
Curious
yeah.
question. Yeah.
So, but anyways, so something did come up. Switching it over a little bit to some of our relationship talk, right?
Yeah.
How important is it for the person that you are dating or in a relationship with to have a healthy relationship with your parents or for your parents to like the person you're dating? or vice versa?
You see, I'm weird about the scale, right? Because I really don't. I'm not tripping if my mama don't really just like my choice,
Mm.
but I need my mama to respect that person. So you got to be kosher and you know what I'm saying, like. And then on the flip side, I'm not really tripping if my partner is bothered, like the female I'm with, bothered that I'm not really
Don't like, don't
strong
like,
with that parent, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Then I might be, you know, more because of how I feel about the person, like try to make it, less intense and be respectful. Like I speak when I see
to their
them
parent.
to their
Okay.
parent, right? But I
So,
wouldn't go out my way to do anything extra or to try to build a relationship
o-
and I don't really like it don't matter to me on that.
okay. So for you though, if your mother did not like the person you were dating or vice versa, you would not, like, you would just deal with that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna deal with it because my mom probably like, we all throw it off. I love my
Yeah.
mom. Like,
I don't know. See, now I guess I'm a little bit different with it to a certain extent because what are the reasons? Like I've established, you know, with my parents as far as like what are your reasons for not liking this person? Right. And I can determine that, for example, my mother, does she not like you because she's seen you be abusive to me or cheating on me or something like that? Or does she not like you
I didn't think about it
because,
in that
or,
way. That's
or does
cool.
she not like you because she's jealous that you're taking my attention away from her?
See, I guess if she's trying to have the best interest for you, like that's
Yeah.
what's up, because that's just what friends do. But how often do we still listen to our friends when they're trying to have our best interests? You know
Well,
what I'm talking about?
friends
That's
are, I
just
mean, my mom is not,
I'm
I mean, I don't look at my
even
mama as my
mama,
friend though. So
even
that's,
like parents, like
yeah, but
family,
no, I'm gonna
I just don't
teach
think we
I'm gonna
do
treat
well.
my mother is gonna have a little bit of a different status than a friend
For
because
sure, for
I
sure.
if my friends don't like the person I'm dating with, I really don't care. I mean,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
same thing. Like you don't have to. You're not dealing with him. This is not for you. But family is a little bit different.
I'm not
Now,
saying I'm not gonna talk to my mama about it. Like I want to hear her insight. And like I said, you just opened my eyes to, hey, son,
yeah.
I saw
What's
your
the
girl out
reason?
there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
right. And
I
then
that's something different.
why doesn't your girlfriend like the mama, your mama? And it could be something that, what if you have a mama that's steadily doing messy stuff, trying, doing things that ain't, that she shouldn't supposed to be doing, trying to maybe even ruin your relationship. Like there's a lot of things behind that.
True enough.
It could go both ways.
And
And
see, I didn't see this scenario. I didn't see a situation where my mama ain't really gonna never just not
like somebody,
but she cannot fool with you to a certain level.
yeah,
So it was one chick, she spoke to, she, cool and help. However, when we get by ourselves, me and my mom, she'd be like, man, what's wrong with
yeah,
y'all?
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? She over there and looking and boo-doo-doo. And no,
mm,
she spoke her piece. But once we, all got it, like I knew how mama felt about the chick. And so, I
yeah,
wasn't trying to do anything else extra to like, how about y'all go do this for me? You know what I'm saying? Or like push them to where they're gonna have
yeah.
their time isolated to themselves to figure that out. Like I knew what it was.
Well, I,
However, another chick, she was like, oh man, like she's just a cool, like she was so sweet. I, talk to her like it totally different. Like
yeah,
what I'm saying, it was different
yeah,
level, like where my mama actually reached out to was like, hey, do you need, what I'm saying, you need my
yeah,
time. I'm sacrificing my time for you because I cut for you like that. It's cool that you're with my son, but I also like you as a person as well. You know what I'm talking about? So I've
yeah.
seen it in that type of way.
Well, and I'm gonna do the flip side as well because I was, married to somebody for many years and to this day still can't stand his mama, right? And the thing about it is one of the reasons was there's many that I did not try to save that relationship is because I could not be in a relationship with somebody that had a mama that was so toxic to our relationship. It's like there are mothers, fathers out there that, can be a very,
Overbearing. Yeah. Trust me,
in,
I know. I got a
in,
couple of
yeah.
partners dealing with that, man.
Yeah. So, and so I just choose not to be with somebody with that I have to battle with or be, not at peace with. And again, that was, 25 years ago, right? I'm
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
different place now. I'm not dealing with that now.
yeah.
But it just makes me think of something about that because one of my, it's not my oldest son, my second to the oldest son, when he brought his girlfriend to him, this when we were in high school, and he brought a girlfriend home, and we got in the car, and me and his sister was like, hey, how you doing? And she was like, just real stank, right? Just real
Yeah.
ugly.
Just kind
So
of, yeah.
we didn't say nothing, and he dropped her off, and then on the way home, we
Like,
said
mm-mm.
we told him,
We're
was
not
like,
doing
yeah,
her.
no, we didn't even say that. I didn't even say that. I just said, what is wrong with her? Like she act like she don't, want to be around us or something. And so the next day or the next time we seen her, it was just like, how you guys doing? Hello, hi, like that, right?
Yeah.
And
Flip the script.
we
Hmm.
ended up being very close afterwards, and she ended up telling me, she was like, "Oh no, he made it very clear, if I don't, if my mom doesn't like you and you can't, fit in with my mom and his sister, then you're out." And so I just, I think
See.
about stuff like that, and
And that follows with what you're saying. And that's
mhm,
like your son like kind of, taking on your personality and your belief. And that's cool because like
yeah, yeah,
now I'm thinking about mine. My mom done been around, other men and and her main phrase is basically, this is my life. I just need you to be happy for me.
right, yeah, mm-hmm,
And
yeah,
so as you see, my answer is, as long as she's respecting my relationship, it's my
right,
life.
right, yeah,
Talking about, then that's the difference.
yeah. That could be a lot to it. And then, the I don't know, I feel like people that are parents that are in other people's relationships, and there's either a reason why they don't like that person, or even worse, there's no reason for them to not like it. So either way, there's a problem there, right?
Man, that got to be
And
a thin line of walk.
yeah, so so I don't know. I feel like people need to assess, what those reasons are before they dismiss either side.
Real talk.
Because, your mama, your daddy, they could be saving you. So a lot of times we don't see it though. I
Yeah.
mean, there's daddies out there that know this boy is no good for his daughter, but the daughter's not going to see it. And sometimes we just have to bump our heads on our own. But
Yeah. Yeah. And
look
shoot,
at
what
those
happened to
men.
listening to our elders? Hey, that
Boy,
our
bye.
parents, our
Ain't
parents are
nobody
still our
listening.
elder. I'm talking
Boy,
about, like, you
bye.
supposed to listen to the wise.
I don't care because it's funny because on the flip side that I have my mom who will say, oh yeah, there's something about him, I just don't like him, and I'll be like, well, why, what I don't know, I got a feeling, like, and so it's more so like you always have a feeling like that,
Yeah.
you have no, there's nothing
After a while, it's
concrete
like the boy that
behind that.
cried wolf, right?
Yeah,
Like, it has no more
exactly.
weight to it. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, it's just you have to do that. But I personally, to answer that question that was posed and it was asked to me, I could not be with anybody who I did not get along with their mom. Now, I'm not saying we have to be best friends, but if I don't like, because you are, I mean, I'm not a fake person. So if I don't like your mama, I don't like your mama. And I don't want to be around your mama,
Yeah.
which means
I'm
that,
the same way.
and I don't want to be around any man that chooses to be with me to not be with his mama. So I'll just step back and you go be with
Real
your
talk.
mama.
Real
And
talk.
because family dinners, uh, Christmas, all that stuff, I'm not going to your
Man,
mama's
look,
house
we
if I don't
we
like her.
pushing this further because I'm like, hold on, like, I'm actually with that though. Like, that was a whole nother, what I'm saying, nutshell within his own because as I'm really not tripping about trying to be giving your mother or your parents my darkest secret. I will respect them. I will speak.
Yeah.
However, I still need you to be connected with your parent though.
Right.
You feel me? Like
Yeah.
I don't have to have that, but I need to see that you still have that. Because like
Right.
even though I have a relationship with my mom, I'm talking about like me and my mama could talk. We don't talk every day, and that that's our type of. But I know I can pick up the phone and talk to her. I still want to see my partner be able to do that too.
Yeah. And the thing about it too is, how important is are those family values to you? Some people don't have close relationships with their parents, period. So it's okay. We don't ever have to go over there for Thanksgiving or Christmas or family dinners. We don't have to do any of that stuff. So, okay, well, in that case, then it really shouldn't matter if they like your, because it sound like to me, you don't like your mama too much if you don't care that, to do any of that stuff anyways. But
Yeah,
if somebody is very family oriented and that's important to them,
you gotta at least try if that's what you're trying to do.
yeah, exactly.
Change your attitude, change your life, change the relationship. But if that's not something that you can really, apply yourself, and that's not in your character, don't
Yeah.
waste that people's family oriented time. They they
Some
family
people just
oriented.
don't, and just walk away. Some people just ain't what I just said. Everybody ain't for everybody, and
It
some
ain't your
people
cup of
just ain't
tea.
for me.
It's
And
okay.
unfortunately, that person that I might have been able to have a good relationship is connected to somebody that I can't stand to be around. Therefore, I just don't need to be around either of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, may have missed out on the one, but I feel like
Hey,
if that was the one, he wouldn't be connected to somebody who was far from that. So, all right. So, anyways, let's go ahead.
let's jump in this girl beautiful old interview.
We will, but
What does blind look like?
yes, what does blind look like? Listeners, be sure to let us know your thoughts and
Real talk, real talk.
suggestions, topics, ideas. Let's go. Go ahead.
Blind table talk, yeah.
All right, listeners, welcome to our BVI Community Seat. We have a great couple at the table with us tonight, introducing their You Don't Look Blind organization. And I would like to ask you to please help me welcome Robert and Jamie Lee to the table. Welcome, Robert and Jamie.
Hey, thank you so much, Si.
I am so glad that to have this opportunity because one of the first things that I definitely wanted to speak on is You Don't Look Blind, right? I love that name, by the way. Just had to say that, put that out there because you don't know how many times I've heard that phrase, You Don't Look Blind.
And that's where it came about. We were trying to figure out how to name our peer support group meeting so we can publish this and share it with folks. And we threw out "You Don't Look Blind" as a joke, and we could never find anything better.
Yeah.
Right.
Every
Yes.
every time we
Awesome.
mentioned it, people laughed and said, "Oh, you wouldn't believe how many times people say that to me."
Exactly. And I love it. So that is perfect. So before we get into that though, I would love, can you both just tell us a little bit about you and introduce yourself to our listeners, please?
My full name is Robert E. Lee II. I was born and raised in Denver, Colorado. I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa at the age of 13 in 1980. And this lovely lady sharing the space and the table with me, I was blessed to meet in 1998. She's been with me ever since
Yeah.
on this journey of degenerative vision loss, and I couldn't be happier to have her with me. And
Wow, that's love. That's a
Yeah.
long time, guys. I just want to say that because that's not common anymore, right? So that you guys
True.
have put in some time. So congratulations
Yeah.
on lasting that long as a couple, right?
Yeah. And it's taken lots of communication, but I've picked up, I really wasn't part of the blind community in any way
Right.
until I met this guy who was legally blind.
Mm,
And the more we were together, the more I learned, and the more his vision got worse, the more tools he explored.
mm,
And when it came time for him to retire, I decided I still wanted to have health insurance, so I went looking for a job.
mm,
And so now I work for the Center for People with Disabilities, which is a local center for independent living, as a beyond vision skills trainer. That all came though because I've been going to the You Don't Look Blind support group for
20 something years.
Well, 25.
Yeah.
He brought me to a support group meeting before we were
Really even dating.
really even dating much. Yeah.
Nice. It's very seldom for me to have a couple at the table that where one is sighted and the other is visually impaired, right? So please forgive me, but I would like to ask the question about that. You know, I know that there's challenges in every relationship, right? But did you feel like it was more of a challenge with you dating, even in the dating stage, right? I mean, now I'm sure that the challenges are probably might be over, but did you feel any hesitation in even considering a relationship with someone who's visually impaired?
I did.
Did you really?
Well, sure, we had to talk about it.
Yeah.
Going to the support group really helped to see that, oh, this isn't the end of the world. He's
Mm-mm.
he's not going to be an invalid. And
Yes. Say that again, Jamie. Say it
right,
again,
he's not an
please.
invalid. And
Yes.
so we started doing little projects together. Things like I complained that above his kitchen sink it was too dark. And he said, well,
Hmm.
let's just put a light up. And I said,
Hmm.
oh, you can do that. Okay. You feel okay about that? And he's like, yeah, I just need help knowing what color the wires are.
Mm. Yeah,
And then he put up a
exactly.
light. And
Right.
we were able to do little things that involved instructions together.
Hmm.
And that was a
Yeah.
good sign.
Yeah. I
Um,
love it.
yeah,
Yes. And people
but
need to hear that because it is, you know, a visual impairment, like you said, he can still do the same things that a man does, right? It's
right,
not, so just differently. That's how
just
that's how we
differently.
work. We do it
Yeah,
differently. Yes.
absolutely.
I love it.
And so, yeah, I've never, it's not like he's a superhero. He's just that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And and I'm happy that he's continued this support group
Yes.
because
Yes.
we have such a lovely core group of people in Denver. But then when COVID hit and everything started going to Zoom,
Yeah.
so did that support group.
Story of our lives, right?
Yeah,
Zoom.
right.
I always say COVID, it did a lot of damage and it was not the best thing, but it really opened up a lot of doors for us,
Did.
right?
Sure did.
So
And so now we get people from Barbados to
nice.
California to
Nice.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
We talk to people all over
Okay,
the
yep.
country. Hear
Yes.
what the
Well,
differences are.
that is great. I love it. I love to hear that. So you don't look blind. Let's talk about that a little bit. How did that
Okay.
get started?
So how did that happen? As I said, back in 1980, I was 13 years old, and my dad took me to the eye doctor, said something's not right. He doesn't see things the way my other kids do, and pushed on the doctor, and they did testing and said, you have retinitis pigmentosa.
Mm,
And here's a flyer to talk about it and described things. And it saved my life, that diagnosis, because I was struggling in my life. I could not compete with my peers, couldn't see in the dark, so I couldn't play hide and go seek and play and catch and all those things that require vision, really great vision. And
and that whole time for until you were 13, you didn't
we
realize or know that you actually quote unquote had a visual impairment.
that is correct. I wore
Wow.
glasses since I was 3 years old,
Hmm.
and constantly, why don't you pay attention? Look where you're going.
Mm,
You're
And
so
yeah.
so,
lucky.
yeah, and clumsy and all those good things.
Yeah.
And I wanted to die. And
Yeah.
when I got the diagnosis, it explained so much.
Yeah.
They did a peripheral vision test. I could see straight ahead at, 20/40, so several lines below the big E. What I
Hmm.
could see was okay. It was functional, but I only had a pizza slice out of each eye. So
Mm,
1/8 of what somebody else normally sees in each eye. And so that was a realization really significant to
yeah.
understand why I was struggling so much.
Mhm.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and so this little flyer that the doctor gave us was an organization, and they had a chapter here in Denver. I call them up and they said, yeah, we have a peer support group that we started back in the late 70s. You're welcome to come. we went back in February 1981 was the month that I have a calendar event. I remember this. And
Yeah.
so we walk in, and I'm this young man, and around the table is a bunch of gray-haired old people with white canes, and nobody looked like me,
Not your peers, right? They were
not
not
my
your
peers.
peers.
No.
Yes.
But what it showed me was that there was nothing to be afraid of.
Right.
And that was
Yes.
huge, right?
Yeah.
So it was the relief of finally understanding what's going on was great towards acceptance. And then the peer support group to say, hey, look, these people have husbands and wives and kids and jobs and careers
Like
and
everybody else.
like everybody else. So there's
Yes.
and they had various jobs,
Yeah.
and they had various places on the spectrum of their degenerative vision loss.
Right.
And some of them it was new, and some of them they've been dealing with it for decades. And
Yes.
so it led the way. And so I've been involved with that peer support group since 1981. And
Wow.
we have been a core group of people meeting basically monthly since I started. And
Wow.
so here it is.
We took a few years off.
Well, yeah, but the core group was still there,
It
and we
was.
were in
Yeah.
communication, and so we were still around. And when it came time to start a peer support group in the mid-teens, it was like, yeah, I'll happily. We want to run this. We got a peer support group for the community
Yes.
right here.
Right.
And so we keep going. The pandemic hits, we go virtual, and we went nationwide. And lo and behold,
Yes.
here it is more than 5 years later. And our virtual group, we've got a email list that's over 500 people now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow.
our Zoom meeting that's once a month, we meet on the third Tuesday of every month. We have an open house format. And so here I am, the gray-haired old fart with my white cane and my wife and my kids around the table. And
That one that you used to talk about, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's
The
right.
first, it's full circle here. Full
Oh, is he
circle.
going to tell that story again?
Yep.
Oh.
And so here it is, full circle now, and I'm at the late stage of it where
Right.
I've got no vision, and I'm down to light perception, and it's
Yeah.
and I've got years of stories to tell, and we're in
Right.
a room with people that are the same thing of whether it's brand new or decades, we all have stories to share.
Yeah.
And so your question, Sai, of what is the mission of our organization? We're not an organization. We're a volunteer community. We're a peer support. There's no dues to join. All you have to do is have an interest in what we're going through.
Yeah.
And so we're here for not just you and I, Sai, somebody who's going through the journey, but
With us. Yeah.
our spouses and our kids.
Yes.
Because they're going through it too.
Absolutely. And I think that is that's very underserved, right? Because we go through our own things as blind or going through this journey, but often we don't realize that our loved ones go through their own journey along with us.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
Feel very isolated. It's hard to continue.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And it's really helpful to involve the people who love you, because sometimes you have to tell them, don't help me.
Yeah.
Because I need to do this.
Right.
And when I really need you, I'll let you know.
And so Jamie actually hosts a spouse's peer support group for those that are not affected, so that they can sit around and talk about us and go, how do you deal with these stubborn blind husbands who won't accept help?
Yeah. They need that support. I love that. That is awesome.
I remember early on, oh man, just thinking, I'm apologizing because I'm not a very good guide. Don't know my left from my right.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, oh crap, I need a school for this.
Yeah.
There's no
to
training.
learn. Yeah. Absolutely.
So in the in-person group, it's kind of become, when somebody brings in a new boyfriend or girlfriend, it's like, psst, psst, could you train him?
Mm-hmm.
Could you show him
I love that.
to not run me into the doors?
And you know that is the key point right there, is that our loved ones, or you guys just don't know,
Oh,
right? I mean, this is new to us. So, sometimes, especially those that go blind later in life. I went blind when I was 30, right? And so
Right.
when we have loved ones, they honestly, they probably don't know how to help us.
right.
Right.
And
And when
it's
they do
good to have
too,
that.
Yeah.
yeah, and you don't know what to ask for
I
necessarily.
I don't. And I
Yeah.
don't know how to tell you
Mhm.
I don't need your help in a way that's not going to make me seem like I'm not grateful,
Right.
And
and so
and
that's crazy.
and Sai, as you said, it is we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
and so as we're here talking about our organization, our group, what is my passion? What's our goal? And You Don't Look Blind, to me, is a shared community of folks that get it. And
Yes.
and I really feel that I would not have made it through my journey of vision loss without peer support. I
Mhm.
cannot imagine this journey without community.
Well, there's I've met somebody who had a very diagnosed about the same time as Rob,
Hmm.
but she was not given a support group.
Hmm.
She basically same diagnosis even. She was told, well, you're going blind. Come back in a year. We'll see how you're doing.
Mm. Yeah.
Nothing else. And so she lived her life ignoring it for as long as she possibly could. And
Hmm.
then she retired. Her mom had it too, and her mom basically just let all the kids take care of her and
Right.
didn't learn any skills.
Their way of dealing with this visual impairment for them literally was an impairment.
Hmm.
Once you can't
Yes.
operate, you go sit down
You
in the
quit.
corner and let people deal with you.
Oh, and that's so not the way to do
It's
this.
it's
And it's
heartbreaking,
not.
but it's a
Yeah.
choice.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not who comes to our group.
Yeah.
The ones who come to our group are the ones who are trying to figure out a way to make it better. And they
Right.
bring their stories and they bring their questions. And somebody will say, I was so embarrassed. I kicked a wet floor sign across the room. And I'm sure everybody looked at me. And
Yeah.
then 9 other people will line up to tell their story of how they not only kicked it, but it hit somebody or they stepped on it. And everybody's
Right.
laughing because
And
everyone hates them,
we
those signs.
Yeah, and we all start sharing the fact that this is one of those uh, uh awards, right, that you earn, one of the
Yeah.
badges that you earn to become a blind scout, right? You
Right.
you earn this badge of honor that says, I kicked a, we're going for distance today. Where's the
Yeah.
fourth?
And that's so true. And even the peer community that, Rob, for me as well. Although I love my sighted family, my sighted loved ones, and they love me, right? But they just couldn't relate to what I was going through. And I don't think I can. I agree with you, Robert, and it makes a difference. It made a difference in my life when I got around people, and I'm using my air quotes, quote, like me, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I just could not. I could, before seeing others like me, I couldn't see a positive, happy life in my situation until I actually got around others and seeing that it is possible.
Right.
Right. So that community, that makes a difference. And then two, that helps us to be able to not only to grow in acceptance in our impairment is, or whatever the spectrum, however, because some of us are total, some of us has vision, but
Right.
it allows us to that sense of I'm not alone.
And that is huge. And it's
Yes, it
and it's
is.
it's so valuable to recognize in a peer support group that as individuals, there's a spectrum as well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? There's the level of what's the level of vision that you have? What's that journey? Was it early? Was it late? Is it, are you married or you not? You have kids or
yeah,
not? All of,
yeah,
and then the spectrum of acceptance. Where are you in it? Well,
yeah,
I'm happy that I'm able to get up, dress myself, and feed myself. And I'm living off the state, and I'm
yeah,
living off my retirement. I'm okay. I'm comfortable. And there
right.
are others that are like, I'm going to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Learning to ice climb.
I'm learning to ice climb. I'm learning to surf, and
Yeah.
all of it. And so the spectrum that says, right, that it is not bringing in other organizations, but right, that one of the groups out there says blindness doesn't define you, and
Yeah.
the only thing that is holding me back is me, right?
Right.
Blindness won't is it can't be the core blockage of what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
If
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
And so
Ways.
by being in a room, what I really love about the peer support group, the first month we did a Zoom meeting as You Don't Look Blind. We had a lady join from New York City, and she says, this is January, and she says, in November I was at a Thanksgiving party and I was doing okay. December I was at a Christmas party and I could not see people's faces. I got lost and turned around and I couldn't find the table where I was sitting. And a lady helped me and she said, "Is this your table?" And she says, I'm bursting into tears. I could not see anybody's faces.
So very
Mm.
sudden.
And
Yeah.
really sharp. And she's January. She's like, I'm stuck in my apartment. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I blah blah.
And
Just awful, awful, awful.
she was in
Yeah.
New York City. We're in Denver. We don't know New York City.
Right. Yeah.
But coincidentally,
There's another guy who joined our meeting who lives in New York City,
Nice.
and he says, "Hey, here's my information. Let me talk to you. I'll help you get connected with some resources
Mhm.
here in the city."
Oh,
And
I love it.
both of these
Yes.
people are first time attendees on our virtual meeting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the lady who's asking for help, I said, "How did you find us?" And she says, "I don't know. My boyfriend gave me the link." I said, "Oh, he's on Facebook. He must have heard of it." "No, he's not on Facebook either. A friend at work gave him the link."
Wow.
Shows
Yes. Look at
this
theirs.
this
Right.
the connections of the community. This is what peer support is about. And
Yes.
why I'm so passionate that we as we go through this stuff, right, we have to reach out for help and then we have to learn to accept help. And
Absolutely.
if they're listening to this podcast, they've made a step, they're reaching out. And
Yes.
so that's huge. And I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to share. And I'm glad that you guys are here as well.
Oh, thank you. And that is what it's connections, right? Because if you don't know, you don't know. And
Right.
there's so many that are out there and that there's support groups, so many things that are out there that can help us that we may not even realize are out there. Just like,
Right.
and these people are going through these very life-changing situations, right? Losing your sight, it's not, what do we say? It's not for the weak, right?
Yeah.
It's a very hard thing to go through. It really is.
Getting old is not for the weak of heart, much less
Right.
any of these other
Yes.
stuff.
Yes, unfortunately, that we haven't conquered the getting old thing yet. I mean, that's gonna be really a forever battle, right?
Right.
So, but when we come across these connections, and I'm telling you, even just being on, I love when I'm on a call, a Zoom call, and people from all over, and you feel that sense of belonging, and that's what community is about, right? That's what it is. And so just to hear that people are out there, they didn't know each other, they had known each other, but somebody took that step to say, "Hey, here's my contact information, I can help you through this." And we need that.
Yes.
Because you can't just rely on agencies.
You absolutely cannot.
No.
Absolutely.
And
That's so true.
And Sai, as we share our stories, somebody will make some offhand comment about something that they found useful 20 years ago, and somebody else in the room goes, "Whoa, stop, wait a minute."
What was that?
And
it's life changing for them.
It
and for the
is.
other person, it's like, well, that's just every day.
Yes, it's normal.
That's common sense. It's like, but it's not common. This is a discovery.
Yeah.
And it's those types of things why we share our stories. And even for somebody that's brand new can come in with a story that says, "Hey, I just found out about a new something or other because my doctor told me about it, or this skill center told me about it." And everybody else goes, "Whoa, wait, what's this?
I've never heard of it," right?
Yeah,
Yes.
And so whether you're old or new, wherever you are in the journey, your story is valuable and it needs to be heard.
Absolutely. And that is another thing too, that you mentioned the spectrum, right, of where we are, because even our stages that we're in, it is some of us are confident and independent and comfortable in our blindness, and then there's those that are very they're afraid, they
Absolutely.
can't see it, and so we feed off of that, right? I want to be around confident independent people. I want to hear those stories as well. So that's
Yeah.
another thing I love about peer support groups is even though somebody might be listening that has not branched out, has not, they have been in their house for the past year because they never been around blind people and they just can't see a way out of this, right?
Absolutely.
These are the type of peer support groups that, and they're virtual, right? So you don't have to go anywhere, but even logging on, getting connected, and then they can help you find the strength to do more. And that's what I like about this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it shows that people don't have enough community because so our virtual group, we open up the room at 5 o'clock Mountain Time
Hmm.
and we close it at 10 p.m. Mountain Time.
Wow.
And we don't expect people to stay for the whole thing.
The
It's
whole
kind
time,
of
right?
come
Coming
and
in and
go.
out. Yeah.
But
Right.
there are a handful of people, and it changes from time to time,
Yeah.
who we award them the parking lot award because they come early and they stay late
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's no other support that they have found. So they wait eagerly for our meeting because you can talk to other
Right.
people.
Yeah.
It is such a wild and amazing thing to be part of this community that we built up because of the virtual support that the pandemic brought about, and to
Hmm.
see people from all corners of the country, from Washington to Florida and California to New England,
Mm-hmm.
and Chicago to Texas, and these people that are out in the middle of nowhere, middle America, and one in the
No
middle, yeah,
transportation.
middle of Nebraska,
Right.
one in lower Texas. She says, you can't get farther south of me. There's nobody around us.
Isolated, right? There,
Yeah,
it's almost like they're isolated.
and they are. And
Very.
she says there is no other blind person in my community. I'm
Ugh.
a city of 400 people, and I'm embarrassed to carry a white cane because I don't want people talking about me. Um,
Yeah.
it, it, all of these things, I don't know how to do this. How am I
Right.
going to live being and not being able to drive? There's no public transportation,
Yeah.
and they need to be able to share and vent and know
Yeah.
that they're not alone.
Yeah.
This is because it's like, yeah, I would love to go to an in-person peer support group. The big city's 2 hours away
Or five.
Right.
or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I definitely think we need that. And and I don't say this in a negative way, but when we are as visually impaired and we have sighted people that are telling us, oh, you can do it, there, it doesn't hold as much weight as it does when somebody that is like me tells me I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we need to hear that. We
Yeah.
need to see other people that are doing it like us so that that's going to give me the confidence to do it. That's
I
going to
I,
be,
I agree. And the other half of that is the
Negative
those
role
the
models.
negative role models of or I've been blind since birth and I do all of these things, and the person who's newly blind going, but I'm scared and I don't know what to do, and somebody tell him says, oh, just get over yourself. And it's
you
like,
can't,
yeah,
yes, you
so
can't do that.
right.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. So there is,
Yeah.
I really feel in my peer support groups that I really try to encourage folks to not say,
You
you
should be
need
doing
to,
this by
you
now.
have to
Yeah. Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it this way. This is how I dealt with it. This is
Right.
my experience on it. And our parents are trying to tell us all of our time, right? All of our life. Learn from my mistakes. Do
Right.
what I tell you to do. Don't do what I do. And it's just like all of this stuff we grow up. So we get it
Right.
here, and as peers, we tell people this is how I dealt with it. Somebody else's this is how I dealt with. Somebody else's this is how I dealt with. And then you can take all of this information and
Mhm.
integrate it into your existence.
And
And yes, love it.
everyone's so human. It's sometimes you get opinions about the other people in the group, and it's like, well, if
Yeah.
we can do it, I can do it because I'm smarter than Henry.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can,
but that is that's exactly how I got off of a lot of things that I was doing, was because seeing other people just like that. I said, if they can do it, I know I can do it, right? You
right.
know, so
I'm better than that.
yes,
Come on.
yeah, that is so true. But I think too, and that is key. It's important to know that everybody is independent, right?
Yeah.
In themselves, but I
Unique.
can't expect that's a better word. Perfect. Unique. Yes. I cannot expect somebody that maybe, who cares if they're blind 1 year or 5 years?
Mhm.
I can't just say, well, I've been doing this since I've been blind, 7 years, and I've do this, so you should be able to do this by now. We can't do that because everybody comes into it at their own time.
Yes.
And I think that's important. So I love your motto of, it's not about this is how you need to do it. This is how I did it. This is how I overcame these challenges. And that just gives people encouragement to be able to overcome those challenges. But it's not shaming them for not being able to do it already, even though I've been blind for 5 years.
So, Sai, one more thing. As we talk about confident role models, you and we sound very confident in our lifestyle right now.
Right.
But I also recognize that I am riding the roller coaster of the grief and loss. And
Absolutely.
that roller coaster where you go through depression and anger and denial and bargaining, all of that stuff.
Frustration.
And I've been up and down that roller coaster over the last 4.5 decades. And it is,
Yes, I tell people, I am not ashamed to say, I feel like I literally fight depression every day.
yeah,
It's hard, because it's so easy to sink into the yes, it's confidence, and I'm positive and all that, but do you know how easy it is for me to lose confidence, those insecurities to kick in?
yeah.
We battle. It's a constant battle for us, right? And so
And
I agree, it's a roller coaster. Not every
it is.
day is a positive, confident day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so, the ableism stuff, or go to the health club and we go into the locker room and guy walks up to me and says, "Hey, I just want you to know you're amazing." And I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess so."
You got dressed,
Yeah.
you got yourself
Yeah.
in school.
No. You know what? I'm laughing because when I hear that word, it just, oof, because I'm like, you guys think I've so said this. You think this is amazing? Well, I think I got some stuff that'll really knock your socks off, right? Because this is not amazing. I can do some amazing things.
Right.
Right.
Me typing on this Bluetooth keyboard like everybody else does is not amazing. But
No,
Right.
that's just practice.
Yeah.
right, but
Yeah.
I do look at it like, because I was sighted for 30 years, never was around any blind people, right? So I can kind of see, even though it irks my nerves, I can see how somebody would think what I'm doing is amazing, right? Because maybe it is amazing to them, but it's also, to me, a lot of it is an insult.
They don't know what they're saying is insulting to
Right.
us
No.
because we don't feel amazing. We just feel like we're living our lives
We're every day. Yes, exactly.
just
Yeah.
like them. And so we've created buttons that we share
Yes.
with our community. And we're going to create one that says, "You're amazing too."
There you go.
So you know.
Perfect.
Just so you know,
Yes.
you're amazing too.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely. You got up and walked to that table. You're amazing.
good job.
You're
Yeah.
inspiring.
Right.
Yes.
And yes, the sighted world, the ones that have never gone through this, say, "I don't know how I would survive. I don't know what I would do if
Yeah,
I lost my vision."
It's a huge fear for
It
sighted people.
right?
it is. I had somebody tell me I would die if I lost my vision.
Oh,
And I'm like,
that's a
whoa.
common
We've
response.
heard ones that
Yes.
says, "I would kill myself
Uh-huh.
Yes. And I'm
if I
just
went
like,
blind."
what does that say about you? Well, no, that's not. I mean,
Right.
no.
Remembering that it doesn't really, that isn't about you, that's about their own fear.
Yeah.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
says a lot about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's what yes.
it's
Come
just
on.
uneducated,
Yeah.
but it's important to remember that you do not have to be their educator unless you choose to be.
Oh, yes. That's
And
a whole nother thing,
sometimes
right?
Sometimes it's a beautiful moment and you can educate them. Sometimes it's good to have a snarky comment.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and some days we have a bad day, and like, I don't want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
that's what,
amazing.
oh my gosh, you guys, that is the thing. I felt like at one point in my life, I was just walking around. Why do I have to be the one who has to be the teacher every moment of my blind life? Like
Right.
sometimes I might just be wanting to sit down and have dinner at a table and not have to have an educational moment. But then you think about it, if you still have to worry about your attitude, right? Because I may be the only blind person this person ever comes across, or
Right.
or
Right.
the first one. And so I still do want to educate, but at the same time, I don't feel like it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Today it may not be the day.
Today is not an educational day. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah, apparently, blind people are angry.
Oh yes. Oh yes,
Well, I've
exactly.
heard that one that before because they ran into one blind person who and they offered to help them and they said no because they were
You
having a
know,
bad day.
it's very unfortunate.
It's
Sometimes it's not
okay.
even about a bad day, though. Sometimes
Just a
us
bad
as
moment.
blind people are just not nice people when it comes to help, and that's
Yeah.
another thing too. And I know people like this, and I cringe every time I see them act like this because yes, we know you don't need help, you don't want help, but I still believe there's a nice way to decline the help,
Right.
right? And having that nasty attitude, don't, I got it, I don't need your help. That's, you
Right.
don't have to be like that either,
Right. You can
you know?
soften your tone
Right.
without impinging on your dignity.
Yes, just no, thank you. I got it. And I know that, don't get me wrong, there are those people. I have them. I have family members. I say I
Yeah.
got it, and they're still here they come. I mean, it gets to the point where I might have to snap to make them stop.
Huh?
Like,
But
but
if you can laugh about it and say, "Hey, man, no means
I,
no.
yeah, I
I
know.
really mean it."
Yes. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do call this a whacking stick.
Right, exactly. That is another thing too. We humor goes a long way,
Yeah.
right? It really does. And it eases a lot of tension because some people just don't know how to be around or act around
Yep.
a blind person. I've even said, hey, I don't bite, I'm not contagious. You can't
Yeah.
you're not gonna catch blindness.
Yep. That's kind of become my role because I can see the reactions sometimes where
Right.
people kind of do a little freak out,
Yeah.
and then I look them in the eye and say, "Just say hi. He won't
Yeah.
run in. He's not trying to run into you. He doesn't know you're there.
Yeah,
Make some noise."
absolutely. Yeah. It's funny because I had to tell my kids were, when I first went blind, they were teenagers, and people would stare. I
Sure.
have a cane and they're looking. And so my kids would get so upset. Why are you staring at her, Mom? They're just staring at you. And I'm like, you know what? That's okay. Just, you don't have to be mad about it or be ugly about it. It's, just let them
Sigh,
stare.
sigh. The response there is, your mama looks good.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's a perfect
I
response,
I
right?
can tell that you are a beautiful woman, and you don't need
Yes,
to fish for
thank
compliments.
you.
That's
Yeah,
why they stare.
yes, exactly. There you go. So I love it. I'm loving our conversation. This is just, it's so important. And I think that so many need to hear, everything that we've said. I hope that somebody listening can just, get a little bit of that push, that encouragement that they need, because that's what it's about. One thing that I did want to cover, and we probably should have done it in the beginning, but I do want to hear about your "Where You Don't Look Blind" come from. How did you get that title?
Again, when we first started, we were associated with an organization called the Retinitis Pigmentosa Foundation, and some people probably know back in the mid '90s they renamed it,
Rebranded.
yeah, rebranded
Mm-hmm.
as the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Oh, is that
And
what it was called first?
Mhm.
yep,
And they do a lot more than just deal with retinitis
retinitis
pigmentosa
pigmentosa.
now.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
yeah, because they're after a bunch, they're raising money for inherited retinal diseases.
Right.
And so here in Denver, one of the community members of the chapter said, "Hey, why isn't there a support group meeting?" And they said, "Well, I'm going to start one." And it's like it's already been started. We've been running it since
Mm.
since the mid '70s, and so we joined the support group. We're there, and we stepped up and said, "Hey, we're happy to be here. We're happy to be involved. We want to keep this going." We were doing virtual meetings, and the Foundation Fighting Blindness said, our focus is raising money for medical research, and
Mm-hmm.
support is really not where we want to invest our time and effort.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like, great, I can give you money and I don't need to do anything else about raising money. I need support. I need
Yes,
community. And I know the
absolutely.
value of it over the last 30 something years.
So we figured out we had different missions.
And so
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
when
And that's
we,
okay, right? That's
yeah,
okay.
It is,
and
because they're really good at fundraising.
they are.
It's good at fundraising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't need money to have a community.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so we bought
absolutely.
a Zoom license, and we went online and we went on to Facebook. And again, part of this was, okay, great. If we're going to go independent, what are we going to call ourselves? And
Mm.
we had a core group of people, and we're throwing things back and forth. And
What about this?
the
What about this?
blind VI, and they peer support this, and it just, and we kind of put you don't look blind as a bookmark, right? Just a
Mm-hmm.
doorstop. And we kept coming back to it.
And it made us all giggle.
And it just
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. And it just, that's what our community is. The number of people that walk up to me with my white cane and say, "Wow, what is that?" "Well, that's my white cane." You're blind?" I said, "Yeah." "Well, you don't look blind."
Yes,
We just had it
exactly.
happen. We had our in-person meeting, and a small group of us went to lunch after, and Rob tells the waitress that, "Hey, just so you know, us four," and the other three people raised their hands, says, "We're all blind." And she said, "What? No way.
Yeah.
You don't look blind." And of course, we just all
Oh,
laughed.
yeah,
And kind
laughed
of
about
rolled
that.
our eyes
Yes.
and go, "Yep, there it is again." So,
Right. And that is funny too, because that is a common thing. I've gotten that many a times, as if, I'm just walking around with a cane for fun because I
Right.
just want to carry a cane,
It's a
apparently.
hiking stick.
Yes, exactly. But again, that goes to show, I want to know though, what does blindness look like? Is there
that's
an
Right.
answer for that?
right. That is the question of, well, you don't look blind, to, right. Some of those responses are, "What does blind look like?" Or, "I'm sorry, I don't look like what Hollywood has taught you."
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, good
Because it's
point.
wrong.
Yeah.
I left
Yeah.
my tin cup at home. So
Yeah, right. Yes,
But yeah,
exactly.
blindness sometimes looks like glasses.
Yeah,
Blindness sometimes looks like that you have no problem at all because you're not using a cane.
yeah,
or, "Oh, you're wearing glasses, so you're obviously not blind."
You must
yeah.
have better glasses.
Yeah.
And that's funny because the other day I had on my meta glasses
Mm,
and I was standing there and I was looking, my Uber driver was parked in front of me, but they weren't telling me that they were there, right?
right.
And so he kept saying, well, after I said, can you please let me know when you're here? I'm standing right here. And he kept saying, I'm here. And he says, well, you're looking right at me. And so I typed and I said, I'm sorry, I'm blind. I cannot see you. And he's like, well, you're wearing glasses.
So,
So I just
Absolutely, son. Yeah. The
yeah, and so
assumption,
I
the
so I
ass-
said, they're meta glasses. They're not visual glasses, and so that just goes to show that people just they don't know, and so I don't know what else I needed to do to look blind. I still had the cane, I had the
right.
glasses, but sorry, I didn't look blind enough for you. I don't know.
That's it.
So if I didn't have my glasses on, would I look blind? I don't know. That was
or
just
or
funny.
you're supposed to put on the really dark lenses in your meta
Oh,
frame.
yes. Yeah,
Mhm. Right.
exactly. Right.
So,
Yes.
one solution that has been mentioned is putting "I'm blind" in your
Yeah.
name.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
That's true.
yeah, it is an interesting conversation, Sai, as we're
Yeah.
How do
it,
you identify and get people
Yeah.
to understand?
what does blind look like, and what is the community, what has the general public been taught?
Yeah.
And
Not much,
we know somebody in our community, and she's created her own organization where she goes to schools and educates them
Mhm.
about disability at a young age.
which is great.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
somebody in my group today, he said, when I started losing my vision, they put a white cane in my hand, and I had like a half an hour's worth of O&M training. I didn't know how to use this. And he says, I went back to a memory I had from school when somebody with a white cane said, this is how I use it. And he said, that's how I taught myself to use a white cane.
Yes. Oh,
So it's
absolutely.
the things that we don't know that we've learned and
Right.
experienced because
Yeah.
it didn't apply.
Yeah. So, you guys said you had some buttons, can we get a few buttons that I can put on that just say I'm blind and just walk around with
Yeah.
I'm blind buttons? So,
So,
Actually, yeah.
so Cy, the current 6 buttons we have are I can't see you.
oh, nice. I
So
love
that's
it.
plain.
Yeah, really plain. I can't see you, and it has either the international symbol for vision loss, which is an eyeball with like the no smoking symbol on it, right?
Well,
Red
it's a
circle,
line through it.
right? The
Mm,
red circle and a line through it, or it has a pair of dark sunglasses. Then
mhm,
there's the next button that says I can't see you, I have low vision, with the same 2
mm.
symbols. Let's see. We have I'm not legally blind, I'm illegally sighted.
I like that
And
one.
we have the snarky one, I'm blind, what's your excuse?
Oh my goodness. I love that one too.
And
Number 5 is I know I look good, but I don't see well.
Oh, I love it.
And the current number 6 one is I drive a stick.
That is so funny. I love it. I
because
love it.
when you're sitting down,
You're
you don't have a cane in your hands.
right.
And people don't know that you can't take the hot plate from them.
Yes, exactly.
And so identifying in some way, there's buttons out there that say I have low vision, but that is kind of vague. People don't know what low vision is.
My
Right.
sister, she
Yeah.
says I was at an Obama voter registration event, and she was wearing a button that says I have low vision, and she's carrying her white cane, and people were asking, well, what's that political viewpoint?
Yeah.
Mm,
Does that
yeah.
mean you don't have dreams?
Yeah.
What does that
Right. Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
You don't
so,
That
have hope for the
what
future?
what candidate is that against?
Yeah.
right.
Right.
But I can't see you is very clear because we're dealing with a population that has no idea
Yes. That is
that
so
you can't
true.
see them. So very short words,
So
simple.
what do you guys do? Do you guys sell these buttons or how?
Well, we manufacture them. My daughter has created the artwork. My wife is the one who cuts them off the piece of paper once they get printed. My son assembles them in the button
It's
machine,
a
It's a cottage
family
industry.
affair.
Yeah.
and I will package them
Yes.
up and take them to the post office. Basically, we have broken down that it costs us 50 cents with ink and materials to manufacture a button. And if you want a button, you can make a donation to us, understanding that 50 cents allows us to make another button.
Yeah.
And so uh,
Wh-
people, we've had people give me a $20 bill for a couple buttons, and I've had other people say, I can't afford it. And I was like, take a
Take a
button.
button.
I want you to have
Oh,
a button.
oh my goodness. I love it.
It's more
And
important that you have this and identify than it is that I
yeah,
get money. So
yeah, you guys are not trying to get rich off of these buttons.
No.
no.
Obviously. I love it. And
Yeah.
that is so awesome. Well,
And always taking
I want some of
suggestions.
those buttons.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love some of those buttons. So, how do our listeners find you guys? That's really what we need to share.
The simplest way to get a hold of us is send an email to you don't look blind at gmail.com. And that's all spelled
Awesome.
out YOUDONTLOOKBLIND at gmail.com. We took the apostrophe out and took out the spaces. So
I love it. That's easy. That's quick.
Yep.
You don't look blind. And then that is where we can, number one, find out about your support groups and things of that nature and as
Yeah.
well,
and
right?
you send us an email, we'll put you on the email list, and we'll send out a large, we usually send out an email once a month or twice a month to tell you
Mhm.
about our in-person stuff happening here in Denver and our virtual stuff happening once a month on the third Tuesday.
And we advertise other people's groups that just to
Mhm.
get the word out that if you can't come to ours, come to a different one.
And it's
Awesome.
all about sharing resources. And, that's
I
where
love
we
it.
are right now. We're working on a website and it's out there. It
Get there.
exists, but, the youdon'tlookblind.com, but
It's not pretty yet.
it's not pretty. It's not finished.
Not yet, but
Yeah.
it will be. You
It will
guys,
be.
yeah.
And we are on Facebook. The Facebook group has a lot of people that just post, But there are some
Mhm.
of the core group that comes to make sure they remember what day the meeting is.
Mhm. Okay.
So there is activity. It's growing. And,
Yeah.
you
Is
know,
that You Don't Look Blind as well? Is
yep,
the Facebook group?
it is.
Yep. It is
Again,
absolutely.
keeping
So
it simple.
yes, I love it. I love it. I want to thank both of you. This was such a very, I mean, it was more than just an interview, right? Because I felt like we were just, I mean, I had so much to that I wanted to even add to things, but I feel we could probably go on all day. And
Well, that's
I
why our
love
group lasts for 5 hours.
right. I can see it. I could see it now, right? I totally understand how that could happen. I really do. And you guys have been great. I just thank you. Listeners, please, you don't look blind at gmail.com. Facebook, we will also put the links in our show description. Yep, or show notes. So you can just click on it right from there. And then also, I just want to know from both of you, for our listeners, do you have any just words that you would like to leave for our listeners, for words of wisdom, some gems that you would like to share?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
No, Jamie laughs.
yeah.
I know what mine is.
Go ahead.
No.
He said you go first, right?
So,
Yeah.
so
So my
Ooh,
word
I'm
of wisdom,
excited.
well, my word of wisdom is no, because sometimes I've had a lot of encounters with my lovely husband where he wants me to do something and he doesn't know that my hands are full, and I'm covered in soap on one arm, and I'm doing 9 things, and he'll come say, "Here, can you take this and tell me what it says?"
Mm.
And the answer is no. But it also leads to him communicating better, as
Right.
well as finding other tools, because sometimes the most handy eyes are busy looking at other things.
Oh, words from a sighted spouse. I love it. Yes. Thank you. Rob,
and
what you got?
for your community, I would say that it's so hard, Cy. We don't know what we don't know. So let's talk and figure out what we do know, and find out how we can figure out the rest.
Oh, I love it. Yes, because that's key, and that communication. I love it. Thank you
We
so
all need each
much.
other.
Yes, I love it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And you are welcome back at the table anytime. And please let
Beautiful.
let us know how we can support you in any way. I'm all about the same thing as you, sharing those resources, sharing those connections, spreading awareness. And thank you guys for doing what you do. You really, really are making a difference. Thank you.
Cy, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the opportunity of being here with Blind Table Talk, and I really am honored to be here. And thank you for sharing time with us. It was a pleasure getting to know you. And
Thank you.
you need buttons, send us an email. Give me your address. We'll put them in a box. I'll get them
And
shipped.
I am definitely. Thank you.
Lovely to meet you. Hope you can
Thank
join
you.
us sometime.
I absolutely will. I'm going to join the email list today. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Blind table talking.
All right. So, oh my gosh, thank you so much again to Rob and Jamie for, the thing about it
yes,
was,
thank you, Rob
I
and
could
Jamie,
have
for
ran
really
my mouth.
breaking that down.
Yes, I could have ran my mouth all day long with them. So that was a whole nother
such a wonderful
thing.
job.
So thank you. Thank you. We
for
miss
sure.
you. See, that's why I'm saying, well, usually when you're there, you kind of control and stop me from running on and
everybody
running on.
needs security, but security had another
yes
obligation to take care of.
You was massaging stinky people apparently.
Oh man. Look here. Not everybody. Don't come for me, y'all.
I know,
not
right?
all y'all. I just want to know if people really feel this way. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know, because everybody has a natural, body smell. Sometimes we not always agree. Yeah, there we go. I'm getting all the way down into it.
All right.
Back
yes.
to what we got going on.
Yes. Again. Okay. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed our interview.
Yes,
I
indeed.
hope that you guys enjoyed our BVI Real Talk. And don't forget to visit our website, www.blindtabletalk.com. And you can also email us.
info@blindtabletalk.com. You know where to find us. And also, do not forget about our YouTube channel. Please go and like, subscribe, and share, man. Support that thing. Show us love. You know what I'm talking about? Get up on there. Get up on all your podcast platforms, Apple, outlet, you know what I'm saying, where you can find us at. And check us out, you know what I'm talking about? And then send us a feedback.
Let us know what you think.
We got a number?
800-321-6456.
That's
drop
on the
us
magic
a
numbers.
text. Yes, drop us a text, leave us a message. However you want to give us your feedback, please feel free to do so. We do read it, we listen, we hear what you're saying.
We do. We definitely read it. And many blessings. Number love for y'all. We got real talk. And I say that with all my heart.
Blind Table Talk, yeah.